Killing lesbian characters on TV and film seems to be such a common theme that by the 3-minute mark of a lesbian movie, I've already wagered on who will die. And while we may get our moments of glory, it's usually followed by a tragic, heartbreaking death. Come on, lesbian movies are already a rare find amongst the sea of endless hetero rom-coms, so time to start giving us more happy endings. Until then, here are 5 heartbreaking lesbian on-screen deaths. Dana, the L word. Dana, an introvert in the closet star tennis player, befriends cute, gossiping, proudly out Alice. Their friendship blossoms quickly and they eventually end up falling in love. Shortly after, Dana decides to end things with Alice for ex-love Lara. Though heartbroken, obsessed Alice continues her friendship with Dana. And if this wasn't already sad enough, Dana gets diagnosed with breast cancer. And it only gets worse from here. As Dana's health declines, Lara takes off, leaving Alice to care for her day and night. Alice spends countless nights by her side in the hospital. Eventually, Alice takes a break and heads to the gift shop. She buys a flower that plays "You Are My Sunshine" for Dana. When she returns, she finds that Dana had died while she was out, leaving Alice crying on the floor to the tunes of "You Are My Sunshine." Rebecca, a perfect ending. Rebecca, an unappreciated mother with a husband who decides to hire a private female escort after being persuaded by her group of gal pals it'd be a good idea. Sounds like a recipe for heartbreak because it is. She meets Paris, who turns her world upside down. They continue meeting and fall in love. What could go wrong, right? And just as I think to myself, wow, we're actually going to get a perfect ending only because, you know, the movie title suggests it, Rebecca breaks the news to Paris. Leaving behind a broken Paris to pick up the pieces. I vaguely remember a similar situation panning out differently. Tallie, the world to come. Set in the 19th century Northeast, neighbors Tallie and Abigail fall in love, bonding over being unhappily married while their husbands are out working. This never ends well. Their husbands become increasingly jealous of their time together, and shortly into the relationship, a storm almost kills Tallie, as if we need to be killed twice. Moving on, Abigail goes in search of her, only to find Tallie's house empty and a blood-stained cloth on the floor. Time passes, and Tallie eventually writes Abigail explaining her husband decided to move. And to no one's surprise, Abigail then forces her husband to take her to Tallie. When they arrive, they find her dead, lying in bed, poisoned by her husband. I guess if he can't have her, no lesbian will. Sara, Purple Sea. It's 19th century Italy. Sara and Angela spend their childhood as the best of friends, inseparable. Sound familiar? Sara's parents move away, taking Sara and leaving Angela counting the days until her return. Years later, Sara returns home to a long-awaiting Angela, who immediately begins romantically pursuing her. Sara, scared at first, shies away, but this doesn't last very long because these two were already in love. No one accepted their relationship. Shocker. So Angela's father locked her in a dungeon. Eventually, she was freed under the circumstances. She pretended to be a man and tell everyone she'd been a man all along. She agreed and immediately married Sara. Now, the story should have ended here, but instead it continues. Sara and Angela agree they want a baby. Although reluctant to be with someone else, they decide to allow their friend to do the honors. Fast forward, and a now pregnant Sara wakes up from her sleep and sees blood on her nightgown. She's rushed to a doctor with Angela by her side, but Sara dies during childbirth, leaving Angela with the baby. The Martha, Handmaid's Tale. The fact that this is set in Gilead, a totalitarian government installed in an overthrown modern-day United States where men rule and women pump out babies for Gilead, become prostitutes, servants, or become aunts who police the handmade baby-making machines, should tell you how this is going to end. This being one of the most brutal, heart-wrenching lesbian on-screen deaths I have ever seen is a chilling reminder of how quickly things can change and women's rights can hang in the balance.
To react here in Washington and across
or
the
worse
country.
yet, be taken away completely, as was the case for Emily and Martha. 2 lesbians who once found to be having an intimate relationship were detained and driven to a remote location, where Emily was forced to watch her lover dragged away and hung in front of her for the crime of being a lesbian. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe and drop a comment down below.